trust God. Two single-syllable words that you have heard forever, but you will discover as time passes how difficult they are to obey. Trust God. Of course, I have no way of knowing what the future holds for you. You may lose your home and everything in a fire. You may lose your spouse to an early disease, detected but not cured. You may lose your dreams, your hopes. You may lose a relationship that you have cultivated over the years. All losses are painful. And you will be brought back over and over again to the words of Proverbs chapter 3, verses 5 and 6. I know. You memorized them in Vacation Bible School or when you were growing up at the knee of a godly mother and or father, and your lips will move as I quote them. Trust in the Lord with all your heart, and lean not to your own understanding. In all your ways, acknowledge Him, and He will make your paths straight.
If you've been a Christian for a long time,
economic history, so I can count to 10 and read golden books. But God, this is Albanian and Russian mafia, and they kill people. And the Greek economy, this is 9 years ago, the Greek economy is about to go bankrupt. Well, since then, we've bankrupted the entire planet. You're welcome. But, at that time, it was but God, there's an economic crisis about to happen. But God, I live in Australia. Don't you know that's so far away from Greece? But God, I'm a woman. But God, and the list goes, but God. That's what we do. The Lord asks us, but God, but. We've got a whole bunch of Christians leading with their butt and we're going nowhere. That's the whole problem. It's you don't get very far when you're leading with the wrong end. And so we're hey, could you just imagine? We sing of God's omniscience, we sing of God's sovereignty, we sing of God's omnipotence, we sing of His omnipresence, we sing of His grandeur, but we don't really believe it. Because when we start with our butts, we start going and we treat Him like He doesn't know. Can you imagine when I'm but God? And He's oh my God, no, I am God.
Coffee mug with a Bible verse on it is probably this one. Proverbs 3, 5 and 6 says, trust in the Lord with all your heart. Lean not on your own understanding, but in all your ways acknowledge Him. The word acknowledge comes from the Hebrew word yada, which means to know. In all your ways, know Him, and He'll make your path straight. In all your ways, you know Him. You know Him on the mountaintops, and you know Him in the valleys. When you know Him in the good times, you learn to trust Him in the bad times. How do you know God? How do you know Him? How do you know Him intimately? How do you know Him, trust Him, walk in Him? The only way that you can know Him is to be close to Him. And the way to be close to Him is to cling to Him. The word trust at the very beginning of this verse, trust in the Lord. How do you do that? The Hebrew word translated as trust is the word batak. Everybody say batak. Batak sounds like you're hacking a loogie on it, whatever, right? But what this word means is it means to cling to. Not just to be close in proximity, but to hold on to and to not let go. Here's the key. In order to hold on to God, you have to let go of whatever else you were previously clinging to. In order to trust in Him, you lean not on your own understanding. Can I say for a moment, that's just hard? That's almost not fair. To tell me not to lean, I'm wired to lean on my own understanding. Some would say it's a strength that I can figure this out. But when you get to the place where you let go of your own understanding, your own plans, your own desire, your own will, your own strategy, your own place of comfort, and when you cling to one who is a rock who will never fail you, you cling to the faithfulness and the goodness of the only one who really is good, then anything else that brought you the illusion of security before fades away in the presence and the strength of the goodness and the grace and the presence of God. Somebody here needs to get clingy. Look at the person next to you and tell them, get clingy.